now time for the Soulful Psalms segment of Beacon of Truth. The Soulful Psalms is where we take one of the Psalms from the Book of Sung Praises, the kind of Hebrew hymnal, that we also use in our liturgical worship in the Holy Sacrifice of the Mass. We hear the Psalms in each and every liturgy, and we apply this Psalm to your everyday lived experience. And today we're finishing our look at Psalm 10. So Psalm 10 is in book 1 of the Psalms, Psalms 1 to 41. All of those Psalms attributed to David. This particular Psalm has no prescript or superscript. So there's nothing about, Lemenzeach, Mizmor HaDavid, for the choir master, Psalm of David. There's nothing for this Psalm. All right. So this particular Psalm started off, David, is, Lord, why do you stand afar off and hide yourself in times of distress? Right. And we feel like that sometimes, don't we? Where we're going through something and we feel that God isn't there. So that's how he starts off. But we're going to look at the last 2 verses of Psalm 10, verses 17 and 18. Right, where David, in a sense, starts off kind of question, Lord, where are you right now? But he, by the end of the Psalm, he has confidence that God is going to come with his love and with his mercy and with his truth. He says, "Oh Lord, you have heard the desire of the poor." Right, so not just the materially poor, but those who are poor in spirit, those who are living humbly before God. Right, again, humility doesn't mean thinking less of yourself. It means thinking of yourself less, right? So those who bring themselves to humility before the Lord, those are the spiritually poor. You strengthen their hearts, right? So heart is leb in Hebrew. So the leb doesn't just mean an organ that pumps blood through the body. The heart is the seat of the will. The heart is the place where your desire for God lives inside of you. So David is confident that the Lord will hear the poor, and in hearing them, he will strengthen their heart, strengthen their resolve, strengthen their desire to choose him, to be in an intimate, loving, life-giving communion relationship with God. You turn your ear to give right judgment for the orphan and oppressed. And again, love this anthropomorphical image that David uses for God. Like, you hear, like if God has ears, right? But I love that because, we have to think of God as a father, right? And we want our father to hear us. We want our father to listen to us. We want our father to care about us. And so David sometimes uses these images because obviously God doesn't have ears, but the idea is that God is our heavenly loving Father who listens to us, who cares for his children, and so just like a father listens to the cries of his children, the Lord is listening to us. He turns his ear to give right judgment for the orphan and the oppressed. So why? So that no one on earth may strike terror again, right? We don't have to fear. We don't have to fear even the trials and tribulations of life, because we should have confidence that God is with us. Even if we don't feel that God is not there, there is never a time in our lives that God is not with us. And so this psalm helps us to take confidence in the fact that God is a loving Father who listens to us, who turns his ear and his heart to us so that our heart can be united with his most beautiful and sacred heart.
For more on the Psalms with Deacon Harold Burke-Sivers, check out Beacon of Truth weekdays at 4 p.m. Eastern on EWTN Radio and streaming everywhere you listen to podcasts.